All right. Welcome back to another tutorial. My name is Shiny Zenny, and we're going to talk about Moondance. The last Moondance tutorial that I made was a very long time ago, and lots of people have told me that it was helpful for them. But every time I pull up the video, I kind of cringe a little bit, just because it's very... My layout is like really cringe, and the quality of my mic is really cringe, and lots of things. So, so here we go. First of all, you got to set up the room correctly to do Moondance. So when you're entering the room, you want to do a wall jump check through the top of the door, and then you want to open the door after it closes. Followed by coming over here, killing these enemies, and then bombing the blocks correctly, so they get out of the way. I prefer to use regular missiles on these last two Rios. If you don't have them, you can figure out how to time supers, or you can just do P shots, but that's slower. Okay. The reason we want to kill these enemies is because after we do the Moondance, they're going to be in the way, and if you get hit like that on your way out, you're going to lose your Moondance fall speed. So that is why we are killing the enemies as we enter the room. Alright, next up, we want to bomb these blocks specifically in this way. So you want to bomb the second block from the bottom all the way through, so you come out on the right side here. Then what you want to do is you want to jump, morph into the corner, and bomb out this top corner block. From there you want to jump, morph into the hole, and you can either press jump or up to unmorph, and Samus will automatically clip down into the blocks like this. You want to do that when you're pressed up against the left of the block here. If you do it kind of to the right, oh, that is working, but I think you might actually get stuck when you finish the Moondance if you do it that way. So make sure that you're to the far left. Okay. I'm gonna save state again. The right spot. Alright, so first we're going to go over the basics of how this works. Okay. There's technically two ways that you can do this. But more or less what we need to do is we need to do a bunch of moonfalls inside of these blocks. Okay? So every single time you see Samus shoot and then turn like this, she's doing a moonfall. We need to do 176 of those total. The reason that we're only going to the right to start is because if you go to the left, Samus will get stuck like this, and then we can't do anything except wiggle out like that. So the first 29 moonfalls you need to do all need to be to the right. So you need to be facing left, press shoot, hold shoot, press right, release shoot, and she'll do kind of a slow moonfall spin jump to the right. Then, while still holding jump, you turn left, press shoot, you're holding shoot, press right, release shoot, and she'll do another one. The other thing that you can do, technically, is you can hold shoot and press jump, but I'm trying to remember, there's a specific, like, you can only do that, yeah, after you've done enough moonfalls to start, so you have to kind of like switch which button you're holding, which is awkward. And the other thing is that if you get off a rhythm and you press jump without turning around or before holding back, then Samus will do a straight jump, and that will lose your fall fall speed momentum. So the better thing to do is just to hold jump the whole time and press shoot. And then press back and then release shoot. Okay. So we got to do 29 to the right. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay. Once you've done 29, you can do it in both directions. So now we're facing right. We press and hold shoot. We press back, which in this case is left. We release shoot. And notice that Samus does a moonfall to the left, but doesn't get stuck under the blocks. That's because her fall speed is fast enough that she lands more quickly and straightens out before actually getting stuck under the block. That probably doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry, I wish I had a better way to explain it, but I don't. I didn't rehearse this. So, once you're facing left, again, press shoot, hold back, which in this case is right, release shoot, shoot, back, release, shoot, back, release, shoot, back, release, shoot, back, release, shoot, back, release. And this whole time you're holding jump, which you can see, for me, that's the B button. And you can see that in the top left. The info HUD, you can see that I'm holding B the entire time. I'm also holding R the entire time. You can do this by holding L instead if that's more comfortable for you. But you do need to be holding an angle when you do this. Because technically, you can do moonfalls without holding an angle, if I remember correctly, but there's like some very specific nuance to how it works. And holding an angle just makes it a million times easier, so. Shoot, back, release, shoot, back, release, shoot, back, release, shoot, back, release. You just need to do that. After you've done it 29 times to the right, you need to keep going until you get to 176. Once you've done it enough times, Samus will automatically clip down through the block. So let me do it enough to show that. And then I'll do this again and I'll talk about different methods that I've used to kind of gain speed. Okay, so she automatically clips down through the block. From there, you just wiggle right and left, and she'll automatically kind of wiggle out of the block. And from here, you just run left. You can arm pump, but you don't want to arm pump down this slope right here, because if you fall off the slope, you'll lose your fall speed. And then once you get into this next room, you need to do one more moonfall. You want to align yourself with this blue shiny thing in the background. You do a moonfall when Samus is kind of on top of that, or in front of that, I guess. And what will happen is she'll automatically clip down through the block. Okay? If you do it correctly, you can actually fall all the way down, and I'll talk about that too in just a minute. Okay. So that's the basics of how to do Moondance. But how do you do it fast without messing up? What that's going to come down to is a few things, but most importantly, your hands need to be comfortable while you're doing this. When you first learn Moondance, you're probably going to get hand cramps, and that comes from pushing the buttons harder. And the only way to kind of learn how to press them lighter is to do it through repetition. Excuse me, and get more used to the types of inputs that you're putting in on the controller. So that's the most important thing, is just putting the reps in. But when you put in the reps, make sure, like I said, that your hands are comfortable. So for me, and this is going to be different for everybody, for me that means that they're resting on my lap. Okay. If I'm holding the controller in the air, let me fix my filters on my hand cam. Hang on. Okay. So if I'm holding the controller in the air, my arms and my wrists and my hands tire out much more quickly than if I have them down on my lap. Primarily when I'm doing runs, I actually rest my elbows on the arms of my chair, and that doesn't work for Moondance because my hands are just floating here for the most part. And like I said, you at least for me, when I'm doing these inputs, 176 moonfalls back to back, I really need the stability of having my arms resting on my lap. So that's one thing that I would keep in mind is like, make sure that you are comfortable and that your hands and your wrists and everything feel stable while you're doing this. As far as going fast, there's a few things that can happen if you're not careful. So, let me try and show this. So if you do a moonfall, but you release your back press too early, Samus won't follow through with it. Okay, see how she's kind of like she's doing it, but there's dust clouds every time she lands. So that's one thing that you're going to run into is when you first start off doing these first 29, you have to hold back or right for longer until you see that she is aiming up and to the right or down and to the right again, and that there wasn't dust clouds when she landed. Okay. The other thing is that if you don't hold back for long enough on one of these later ones, she'll end up crouched like this. She's actually ending up in a crouched position for 1 frame every time you do a moonfall, okay? And then when you press forward after she lands, she stands up. That all just happens automatically, okay? But if you don't hold back for long enough, I'm not sure how that happened actually, but she can end up crouched facing right, and then if you push left, she'll get stuck like this, okay? So, say that you're going, and then you decide to just not hold right for quite as long, she ends up crouched, and then you push left, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to push left to turn around and do another moonfall to the right. But since she's crouched, you get stuck. So you got to make sure that you're balancing speed with length of input. And the way that I personally do that is these first 10 that we do, these first 10 moonfalls, I just do them kind of slow. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once I've done 10, then I can start to speed it up a little bit. And the reason for that is because the more fall speed she gets, the faster she's going to land and then stand up after landing, okay? If you want to view her fall speed, you can do that using the practice ROM. Just go to the info HUD mode and choose vertical speed. And see how in the top left, the info HUD has underflowed to 65534, 65533, 65532, 65531. I don't remember the exact value that needs to get to for you to clip through the block, but if you want to keep track and make sure that you are indeed doing these moonfalls correctly, you can change the info HUD to that mode. And you can see that it, is progressively going down as we do more moonfalls, okay? Once you've done the 29 moonfalls to the right, there's kind of a rhythm that you get into where it's still shoot, back, release, shoot, back, release, shoot, back, release. But honestly, I kind of think of it more as like just pressing shoot, and rather than like holding it, just pressing it and then timing a back press immediately after, and not really holding either one for too long. So 7, 8. See, so notice I was going too fast before we got to 10. We ended up crouched, I pushed left, and we got stuck. So you got to be careful about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, from here, like I said, technically we're still doing a shoot back release type motion. But the way that my brain thinks of it, like I said, is more of just like press, shoot, press back, press, shoot, press back, press, shoot, press back. And that's really all I'm doing here. I'm going a little slower than I like to here, and the reason for that is because, like I said earlier, my arm is not resting on my lap. If I do that, then I mess up and look like a fool. You can tell how fast you're going. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Based on whether Samus is shooting in both directions or just one direction. If she's shooting in just one direction, you know that you're going pretty dang fast. The TAS only ever shoots in one direction. And since I've been doing this so much, my hands are cramping up, so I'm having trouble going fast. But yeah, I'm not thinking in my head about shoot back release, shoot back release. I'm just thinking shoot back, shoot back, shoot back, shoot back, shoot back. And that's really all I'm doing. Again, you got to make sure that you hold angle the whole time. For me, that's angle up. But other than that, that's kind of it. And then the last piece here, like I said, you want to do a moonfall once Samus is in front of the blue thing, right here, this blue thing. And you want to aim down after she has automatically clipped through this block right here. So if you don't aim down, what happens is she'll clip through that block automatically and then she'll land right here. But if you aim down after clipping through the block, then she can fall all the way to the bottom of the room. And that's it. That's Moondance in a nutshell. So hopefully that is helpful for at least one person. I don't know how the quality of this tutorial holds up with the quality of the last one in terms of like my explanation of things, but at the very least, I know that the audio quality of my voice and the layout quality and the capture quality and all of that is a lot better than it was in 2018 when I made the first Moondance tutorial. So hopefully you enjoy it. Moondance is primarily used in RBO, reverse boss order, but you can do it in randos, or you can do it just for fun, or whatever if you want. So yeah, hopefully that helps, and I appreciate you watching, and yeah, I'll catch you next time.